they what they say, I am quoting, ग्लास तो उठाता नहीं है, प्लेट तो रखता नहीं है, सुबह तो इनसे उठा नहीं जाता, ये क्या जाएंगे, राइट? वन दैट. सेकेंड, अ वेरी वियर्ड प्रीकंसीव नोशन, अच्छा वेटर बनेगा हमारा बेटा, लोग क्या कहेंगे. इट ऑलवेज कम डाउन टू लोग क्या कहेंगे, राइट?
हुआ क्या न जाना, जाने ये रास्ते ले जाते हैं.
We are your hosts for today. This is Chinmay and myself, Bhumika. Chinmay is MSc in Active Manufacturing from Nottingham University, UK. Chinmay is co-founder, website developer, digital marketer, business manager, and everything that one could think of. So he's jack of all trades and also master of a lot of things. And here I am, Bhumika, who is an MSc in counseling psychologist. I'm a co-founder, head career coach, and I'm just cool like that. I don't think we require more introduction. Sorry for boasting too much. Next, moving on, we have invited an amazing panel, which of course, needs a good introduction. And yes, they are not just cool, they're very dynamic, and that's how they roll. So we have with us Mr. Asim, who is an IHM Bangalore graduate. Mr. Kumar has 4 years of experience in the industry and is currently with Crown Plaza, Chennai. Over there, he's handling nightclub and hotel bar. Besides this, Mr. Kumar excels at guest interaction, guest handling, team management. He is a management trainee of IHG Batch 2016 and is also awarded the Best Management Trainee in Southwest Asia. He is an avid traveler, part-time food, event travel photographer with a constant desire to explore, learn, and meet new people. We have with us Harleen, who is a recent food media graduate. She started her journey with hopes of being a psychologist, but her heart always belonged in the kitchen and she loved everything related to food. She is a hotel management graduate with a specialization in food production. She moved to Kuwait to work as a junior research and development chef. While working in Kuwait, she had opportunities to develop recipes, assist in food styling and food photography. It was then when she realized there's so much to do with food than being in the kitchen. She decided to move to Canada and learn more about food media and industry. She's currently working at Night Owl, which is a gastropub in Canada, as a line cook, and her passion is to tell stories through food. And then we have our very young panel member, Mr. Varun, who started his career in hotel industry with 3-year STEP program at the Oberoi Amravilas, Agra, which is with his core areas being front office and food and beverage service. In front office, he worked in different areas like front desk, cashier, and reservations. In food and beverage service, he worked in all-day dining and specialty restaurant bar, pool bar, in-dining, and butlers. He got into management program of the Oberoi Group, which is OCLD, in the guest service management stream. It has been a year in the program and he had been trained at the Oberoi, New Delhi during the course. His current position is that of a guest service management associate in OCLD. I welcome all three of you and I'm more than happy to have you all here today.
So, hi everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. So, I started thinking about hotel management when I was actually doing a BA in Chandigarh. I dropped out after 1 year, and within that 1 year, I had ample of time to think like what I actually wanted to do. I was always passionate about food. I used to eat a lot, cook a lot at home before that. So I decided like maybe I should like do something which is in this area. I also didn't know much about this industry. I researched about it. So I decided maybe a hotel management is a good idea because it includes all parts of the industry. That's how I decided to join this area.
Okay, that's good. And what about you, Asim?
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Well, I have a similar story as Harleen. I loved cooking and loved food from when I was a child, and that's something which got me into hotel management. I, of course, had a dream of becoming chef, but when I entered the college, I went through my training and I realized that kitchen is not my cup of tea. although my knowledge about food and beverage could help me in the future, and therefore I got into food and beverage service. That became my major department, and I got selected by IHG as a management trainee. More about that in upcoming minutes. Then I go, so these courses they help you becoming a manager in a very short period of time. And in about 1.5 years, I was a assistant restaurant manager, promoted to bar manager in another 1.5 year, and right now I manage the bar and the nightclub, as Bhumika said, for Crown Plaza Chennai, and handle the beverages as well. Yeah, so.
That sounds pretty interesting. Moving on, Varun, what's your experience been like? How did you make it to the industry in the first place, and what is your current role?
Sure. So, first of all, a very good evening to everyone, and thank you for joining. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. All loud and
Yes.
clear.
Okay. Yes. So, my journey was a bit different. I think I started thinking about the college or the careers when I was in class 11th. And hotel management was something which fascinated me because it was because of my father, I think. Because whenever we used to travel to different cities, be it Delhi, Mumbai, or even to the small cities like Agra and Shimla, my
Yeah.
father had this fascination of going to the five-star hotels and maybe having a cup of coffee or a tea in the all the dining restaurants or the cafes, and that's, I think, where it all started for me about pursuing a career in this industry. And of course, I had a chat with a few people who were already in the industry, and they surely cleared a lot of perceptions for me. But I think being in the industry for 4 years, and currently I'm a guest service management associate, as he said, and I'm working with the Oberoi Group currently.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all of your introduction. Varun, since you are there, I would want to ask you this question: that what does the course exactly look like? Since you have graduated recently, you're still on the training program. So can you help us explain the curriculum and the lifestyle in the course?
Sure. So I think starting with the main curriculum of hotel management, so there are four operational core departments of a hotel.
Yeah.
You've got front office, you've got food
Hmm.
and beverage, housekeeping, and kitchen.
Okay.
So during the course in the 3 years, or some colleges also offer a 4 year course, you have a theoretical study and you learn skills about these four core departments. Something which I think is currently, which is very important apart from these four departments, is you knowing about finance as well. I think this is something which a lot of people don't know about hotel management, that you have to get to know about numbers as well, know about your budgets. You need to be really good in general awareness and know the current trends. Only then I think you can survive in a hotel. And right now in the current times, even the marketing skills are something which are coming up, and these are some of the things that a lot of colleges and universities are focusing on in their courses currently. A lot of colleges and universities also have a lot of programs related to leadership skills. I think, as Asim and Harleen said, the management training programs you have. So you've got a lot of leadership skills that you have to develop. And that is something which is becoming a part of a lot of colleges' curriculum as well. And to become a manager in hotels, I think training is also something that you need to be an expert in, and you need to learn those skills as well. So yeah, so this is a major chunk of the curriculum which a lot of universities and colleges in our country have adopted to now.
Right. You were being pretty subtle about that because life of an HM graduate is not easy. Yeah. So I think we would need to dwell a little deeper more into the life, and I would love to know about your experiences as we move forward. Uh, Thank you, Varun, for explaining the curriculum and the course in detail. Now, the question goes for all three of you. Can you please break down the specialization? Because there are people, there's a 50% of proportion of graduates and there's 50% proportion of students. So, can we break it down for each one of them? Let's start from Harleen, Asim, and then Varun can take up.
So when like I just started researching about hotel management, there
Hmm.
are few IHMs who provide you specialization in particular department, but then the place I studied from didn't provide any specialization at the end of the year, like the third year of your hotel management program. So it's at the end of the year you decide after your training which core area you want to go ahead with, and you start preparing for your interviews, for your trade tests and everything. And it is how it is this is how it is done. Basically, you decide which area you are most interested in, and this only happens once you actually go in the training period internship, and you experience all the departments yourself, not by studying theory in your first year. So our internship takes place in second year, which have like two batches, summer, winter. And when you go to the hotel, you see like you go to front office for 1 month, you go to housekeeping for 1 month, you go to food and beverage, and then
Sorry
kitchen.
to cut you there, Irene, but could you like explain your specialization and any other specialization in a little detail?
Yeah, so I was always interested in kitchen. I did my internship in kitchen for 2 months. I skipped food and beverage service for 15 days, and I like took extra 15 days for my kitchen.
Okay,
So that is where I actually realized that it is something I can do in my future. So
right.
since second year till the end of third year, when we were supposed to prepare for our interviews, I started studying for kitchen, basics of kitchen, because this is how you study for your specialization if your college doesn't provide you. It's the
Right.
only way. Like start studying from basics. Like we have theory of cookery book, which is the basic of everything. So you start from there till the end of
So
the.
when you say kitchen, what all does it include?
So like our program usually starts with the French cuisine in the first year, which is
Hmm.
all basic cuisine, like the mother sauces, all of that. And then cuts of meats, cuts of chicken, etc., etc. And then second year it's all about quantity kitchen, which has Indian menu. And then third year it is all multi cuisine menu. So for me, I was always inclined towards Indian cuisine. I did my training in Indian kitchen even in like when I was doing my internship. So like you prepare yourself where you feel comfortable, which cuisine do you feel comfortable. It doesn't come automatically, you have to practice a lot. You have to see where you are focused. Some people might not like Indian cooking because it takes a lot of heavy work, heavy
True.
duty work. So French
Hmm.
cuisine is very
No wonder. I've tried
sophisticated,
it.
and it's more
Yeah.
plating styles, and also it's
Hmm.
more about that. So everyone has a
Hmm.
different style, and they go along with the course what they are interested in.
Okay. Thank you. And Naseem, can you take this forward and help us understand about your specialization? Can you just rather explain what kind of day looks like in your work, or
All right.
rather night looks like in your work?
Correct. So,
Sorry to
so
say day there.
correct.
Yeah.
So I belong to the department which is known as restaurants and bars. All
Hmm.
right. The so but now I take care of the bars part. So my day looks
Mhm.
like I also, since I said I also take care of the beverages. So my day starts with understanding what is the inventory of the alcoholic beverage in the hotel. So I belong to a hotel which has about which all the restaurants serve alcoholic beverages.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of amount of beverages which comes to the hotel. So I choose which what goes into the menu, what are the charges. So calculation around that, handling all the stocks, what has to come in, what has to go out, etc. Basically the management of stocks. On the weekdays, I manage the bar for the hotel, which is called Westminster, a 50-60 covered small bar. All right. Friday, Saturday is more. We have a nightclub called Gatsby 2000, which is one of the oldest in the country. Started back in 2003. So my day starts at 4 p.m. and goes till morning 7 a.m. So obviously it goes around handling the nightclub, handling the entrances, making sure the bar inventories are all right, etc. All right. So that's what I usually do.
Okay.
That's how my days and everything goes around.
Right. And
Right.
what about you, Varun? How does guest management service looks like? Front office looks like?
Yeah, so one of my core areas being front office. So I think front office is a place for a person. It's a lot of mental work. So I think front office you don't require to do a lot of physical work. It's normally sitting on the desktop. You interact with the guest a lot. So if you're a person who likes talking with new people or interacting with people, because I think front office is one of the areas in the hotel, uh, be a guest checking in or checking out or during a stay, they interact a lot with the guest. And also it's more about sitting on a desktop. There's a software on which you work about the hotel reports and the daily shifts that go on. So front office mainly includes like managing your revenue for the hotel, managing your inventory of the hotel, the rooms, how you manage it. It revolves basically around this. And the shift timings you've got, as Asim said, its front office has a more, I would say, the working hours are comparatively less than food and beverage. You've got morning shift, which mainly starts from 7 in the morning. You get over by 5:30, depending upon how the day is like, how many arrivals or what is the occupancy. So yeah, this was a brief about front office. So I think talking about housekeeping, on the contrary, so housekeeping involves a lot of physical work actually, and this was one thing which I got it cleared when I actually went in the department. So because housekeeping is, so you've got rooms, you've got public areas of the hotel and laundry, but specifically talking about rooms, because housekeepers take care of making the rooms and keeping it neat and clean for the guests whenever they want to come. So I think it really involves a lot of physical work and hard work, making those rooms the entire day and doing that activity day in and day out, each room. And the guest interaction in housekeeping is less initially, but I think once you go up the ranks and go up to a manager level, even you get a lot of skills involving guest interaction in housekeeping as well.
Right.
So
So that we'll take your question at the end. Um, okay, so now can we talk about job prospects and scope in India, Asim? When I say scope, like what are the industries where we can use hotel management course, and of course, then what is the job prospects?
All right. So I'll just break the hospitality sector in
Yeah.
any country, but India, into the hotels, of course, where all three of us are working right now. Then comes the retail sector, and then comes the tourism, which includes the airline staff and all, right? So starting with the hotels and restaurants per se, because you have a lot of standalone restaurants right now who where you can go and dine and who deliver food to you. In fact, one of the best restaurants in India right now, Bombay Canteen, is a individual restaurant. It's not a part of any hotel, right? So yes, you can get into the hotels. You can work in front office, where Varun is working. You can work in kitchen, where Harleen is working if you're interested about food and cooking. You can get into housekeeping. You can be, as I call myself, a posh waiter and get into food and beverage service, right? There are some other streams as well in hotel, which is marketing, which takes care of your social media, which is very important right now, all the platforms. Then comes sale, which is basically your selling of your rooms and the covers in the restaurants. So this is what all hotel comprises of, and of course, people who are in hotel management who are studying would know more about it. The second comes the standalone restaurants, where you can work as a chef, you can work as I said, a waiter or somebody who manages the restaurants. And just to let everybody know, no more are these major fields only available in food and beverage or hotel sector, but also are the musicians, are also the DJs. They're also part of our industry, of course. The club that I manage has two DJs who are paid like I am paid. They're part of our hotel as well. So not only it is these people that join the industry, but there are other people as well. Then a lot of people don't know about it, but the retail sector, which is growing very rapidly in India. I think Big Bazaar was one of the first who started the entire concept of buying all the brands, buying whatever you want from a single place. But you can also, after doing your hotel management, you can also get into retail. But of course, your economics, your handling of the inventories has to be very strong over there. But retail is a great sector to grow in, is because India, you can just go out and see how many of these companies they're coming to India and actually investing. A recent example is Walmart, of course. right? The third is the tourism sector. An example of a friend, I mean, a classmate, a batchmate of mine in college who got through the Jet Airways. And he worked with Jet Airways for about 2.5 years, post which he got selected by Qatar, which is regarded as one of the best tourism and airline company. And till date, I mean, of course, before the lockdown, he had traveled to 10 countries already in a very short period of 1.5 years. So if there are any people who love traveling, who would love going out to different cities and countries, definitely airline is one of the places that you can get into. And I have seen that it's once you are a graduate from a hotel management school, it's actually easier to get into all these airlines, and they really put a lot of effort and training into you guys. So people who are still doing hotel management and think, even I was confused by my third year what exactly I want to get into. It took me a lot of time and courage to actually go and get into the hotels, because you hear rumors from your seniors, you hear from different people what the kind of industry is all about. So it takes time, but there is a lot of, as I said, you can get into retail, you can get into airlines if you don't think that hotel is something there for you, right? So I think that answers the question. Is there anything else I can also, of course, sorry, I'm missing out one important thing, which is part of our hospitality right now, is the what do we call it, the food providers or the food reviewers, basically what Swiggy, Zomato is doing right now. Getting the food to your house, just to let people right now know that of course the trend of food getting delivered to your house was becoming big, but now it is getting really big post COVID-19. All the 5 stars, all the star hotels, which has good restaurants, all the standalone restaurants, they're all pitching into it. And companies like Swiggy, companies like Food Panda is no more with us in the country now. Zomato and Swiggy are supposed to be the biggest players. So they actually look forward to hotel management graduates for their sales and marketing teams. One of my another junior who's in Zomato in sales right now is doing really good back in Chandigarh. So that's also one of the fields that's growing. So the scope is really big. Don't get scared of the term hotels and work timings. That's not the only thing which is available in the country now. There's a lot of things happening, right?
Right. Um, Aseem, I have a feeling that like a lot of people are going gaga over you. Like you can check out the comments.
That's
So
all right.
not are answers only appropriate, but I think they like you in general. So that's a win-win situation for that. Coming back, when
Sure.
Aseem mentioned traveling, I am sure he didn't mention traveling for 2020 because it is jinxed big time.
True. But probably I'll come to that thing later.
Yeah,
But
we'll come to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll come to that later, probably.
right.
Yes.
And now, when we talk about hotel management, I've seen like a lot of people going into the HM industry, and then there are like a lot of them were not continuing with the hotels. But the course grooms you in a manner that you can eventually, go and thrive in any industry. Like as you mentioned, travel and tourism industry, you can get into business development. You can generally, because the personality is groomed in a manner, the communication is groomed in a manner that there's so many doors that are open for you. So even if there's 4 years of grilling, you don't need to feel regretful that, oh, why did I join it in the first place? Like there will be something or the other that you will definitely get from this course is the whole idea. And next, coming to Harleen. So Harleen, what are the job prospects and scope overseas, especially Canada? Uh, have also heard about Switzerland being a very famous destination for HM students. Can you throw some light on that as well?
So, talking about Canada,
Hmm.
particularly, as Asim said, it's more than these four departments now. We all are it's more of marketing now. Even if you are from a food specialization, there's so much in the food itself. So, apart from cooking in the kitchen, people are doing food blogging, and people are working for hospitals, which is a big thing. Like here, working for hospitals in the kitchen is you are still considered as a chef, but you work on particular diets of a person. So if you come to if you come here and you see people working for old age resident homes, in front office, in housekeeping, in kitchen. So it's not only hotels or restaurants, it covers the areas like hospitals and resident services, and a lot of homeless, like in Canada there are a lot of homeless place, like shelters where we serve food and all. So that is also some thing where people make their career as, because they start as volunteers here and they grow there as a, like as managers and all, because it has to be handled by someone. And talking about Switzerland, I have few friends who are studying there. It's really really good for your masters, but if you really want to grow in culinary, there are courses, but it's not something everyone can afford, to be honest. I always wanted to go there. There are good colleges, there are like top of the world's best colleges, but again, you have to see what where you are coming from, what you can where you can grow, and how much you are willing to do, like how much you are willing. So
Right.
something I would suggest, like don't go beyond your limits. Just because you wanted to go to Switzerland and it's a good college, it's expensive. Don't put hundreds of loans on yourself and go to study to a place where there is return of investment, but not in the beginning. You have to struggle a lot. So don't do something because people are doing it. I mean, it's good, but there are other options as well. You can research. It's not like Switzerland is good, but there are other countries, Australia, Canada, even Ireland is coming
Yeah.
up now, which are affordable and good courses are available there. So always research before you take decision on someone else's opinion. Do your
Right.
own research, I would say.
That's a very, very valid point. Thank you. And what is the difference between culinary arts and hotel management? A lot of people love cooking food and end up joining HM. Uh, but is that the only thing on the basis of which people should decide, okay, if HM is your course for them? And if not, what interests and personality type should a student have to be able to thrive in HM course? Varun, that question goes to you.
Yeah, so sure. So I think for answering that one, I think nowadays we have a lot of travel shows. We've got Fox Life and a lot of other shows. You've got a lot of international shows like MasterChef Australia and US, or even MasterChef India actually, which are doing really well. And I think after seeing that, a lot of people, I think as Asim and Hardeen also said, the passion for cooking that you have at home. But I think coming to culinary arts, that is a course I think which Hardeen has pursued for some time, which totally involves being in kitchen and working in the different areas of kitchen. So a lot of colleges like the Oberoi, the course that they offer in the STEP program for kitchen, it's a 3-year course. And in that, a student goes through all the different areas of kitchen. So you've got the cold kitchen, the Western hot, the Indian kitchen, the bakery, and you work in all those different areas. But I think some perceptions about going into kitchen, and when you know a bit about cooking at home, is you won't go in a hotel and plate a dish in your first month. You're not going to take out a hotel dish in your first month in a hotel in terms of culinary arts. Initially it's a struggle. I think as Hardeen would also be knowing that you have to, peel a lot of vegetables. There's a lot of pre-work that you have to go through, a lot of bulk work that you have to go through. Maybe the first day the chef tells you to peel a bucket of potatoes or tomatoes, slicing them. So I think it's a very gradual thing, and going for culinary arts, you should be very sure in your mind that yes, this is the line that I want to pursue, because I think it makes your the area of interest very limited when it comes to working. Definitely now a lot of chefs are doing really well, but I think choosing culinary arts, you have to be really specific about it, and you should be sure about it once you're choosing it. And then, on the contrary, coming to doing a hotel management course as an overall, I think if you're not sure about anything, I think this is one thing where they give you exposure in all the different departments, be it front office, food and beverage, housekeeping, kitchen, and some back of the house departments as well. So that basically gives you a perspective about, okay, so this is how the work goes in this department. Front office involves a lot of mental work. Maybe I'm good in this. Food and beverage service or housekeeping involves a lot of physical work for about 9 or 10 hours in a day. So I think food, as a whole, hotel management course offers you more exposure and more variety when it comes to you're not sure about what to do exactly.
That's
And
true.
then coming on to the second question about the personality traits that a person should have, I think if anyone goes and walks into a hotel, you see an associate really well groomed, a person standing at the front desk or a person in food and beverage, a steward or a waiter. They're extremely well groomed if you go to any 5-star or 4-star hotels. So I think that's the first point. And working in the hotels, the working hours that we have, about it's for a day it's about 11 to 12 hours on an average. I think a lot of people, it's a mandatory thing to be punctual. So like Asim said, he has shifts at about in the night at 10 or 11 and he has to work the entire night. Sometimes you have to report in the morning for a 6 o'clock shift, and if you are not there, then there are serious repercussions in a hotel because the entire cycle gets a hit if there is not one person there. I think punctuality is one thing that is again very important. Then I think working in a hotel, you also need to be very adaptive and flexible because maybe on a day of a New Year's night, you've worked for 11, 12 hours, maybe the hotel is so busy. Sorry. So the hotel is so busy on a New Year's night that you have to give an extra hour or two. And I think you have to be flexible in that manner to do that for your team or for the hotel at that time. So yeah, I think overall, I think these 3, 4 traits are, I think, the core if you really need to go through a hotel management course.
Yeah, that's very important for a lot of students to understand because I hear a lot of students say that, hey, I like food, like let's say cooking food, and I want to go to HM, I want to pursue HM. But the idea is to understand that yes, even while training, there will be a lot of grilling, which I would want to actually, hear from their experiences. So, are you ready to, get grilled in the first place, or are you adaptive enough? If you are, and if you know what the, reality is, or what it exactly looks like, then you would not probably go there and crib, or maybe even drop out in the first place. Then you would maybe thrive as these three gems. Is that right? Okay, I would come to the next question. What are the options available in terms of courses and jobs other than HM if students love cooking food or they are foodies? So, Asim, can we start with you and then we'll move on to Harleen?
Sure. Okay. There is one thing which is, you love cooking or you love food, and there's one thing to be foodie. I can just sit at home and eat food and go out and eat food and be a foodie. Does not mean that I really, per se, want a career in it. But is a question like what field can you, or what colleges, or what degrees can you get into hotels and become a chef? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not really. Like there are certain people who just, are not probably comfortable with the HM degree altogether, but they still like food. They still
Okay.
like the idea of cooking food, baking, and everything. So, what should be the alternative option?
See, okay. Yes. So, all right. Well, say if you want to become a chef, and you want to continue. You would not want to just cook food the entire life, right? You want to become a manager. You would want to grow in your life to becoming probably a corporate chef, or probably head for a hotel chain or a restaurant chain, etc. Right? So it is not only the kitchen that you would want to learn about, right? Because I have seen chefs becoming general manager. All right, I have literally seen in Intercontinental Hotel Group and in couple of other groups where Marriott especially, they give a lot of weightage to food and beverage and chefs. Well, if you want to really progress in life, you need to learn about other departments as well. It's not only the kitchen, right? For example, I told you how I was really passionate about cooking. I am. I do cook. But if you ask me, can I cook in the kitchen? Can I work in the kitchen? I cannot. Okay, I agree to that when I did my training, and I saw it is difficult to work in front of the flame for 12 hours. I believe, to be very honest, not hurting anybody's department or anybody's feeling, but kitchen is by far the most difficult thing to do. Cooking is the most difficult thing to do in hotels, in all the departments. You have to stand in front of a very hot flame for 12 hours. All
I
right.
think she
And
heard me smiling all that
yeah,
time.
she knows it. Even Varun,
Yeah,
all of us have done trainings, right?
I saw.
And coming back to that, a lot of people get into cooking, bakery. You can see a lot of passionate bakers thinking, "Oh, it's fun, making those doughs. It looks very fancy from outside, but when you get into you, obviously, every field, every job is difficult. But it's not that. It's always not the same fun that you see on TV, right? It's the heat, it's the stress. All right, you have 15, 20 orders in front of you, etc. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that if you want to learn kitchen, it's not just the cooking that you need to learn. If you want to get into kitchen, it's not only the cooking. You need to learn managing. You need to learn how other departments handle and work. All right, because you can't be a chef or a line cook all your life. You need to grow up. You need to grow and becoming something bigger. You know what I'm saying? Yes, hotel management degree gives you overview of not only kitchen but other departments of where would you want to get into, and I think it's a great course for people. As I said before, don't get scared. All right, it's a great course, and it will help you out. I hope that answers
Yeah,
your
that
question.
does. That does.
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions revolving around COVID-19 and how it is hitting the industry. So please stick to the end because that is one question that we are going to address in the end for sure. Now, Harleen, now since you were smiling all that while, I am really willing to know what is the reason behind that mysterious smile. So can you tell us about your experience in the kitchen industry? I mean, in the kitchen area.
So, as Asim said, like training is the time where you actually get the true picture where you want to go. So, I remembered my training days. I did my training in Banquet Indian Kitchen, and it was like really, really heavy duty work. And Asim is smiling now, he knows how it is. And you have to make food for like 200, 300 people. And being a trainee, my job was only to make masalas, like big, like 20, 30 kgs of masala in a
You
day
became the
alone.
MD uncle now. Yeah.
Yes, MD and uncle. Like, the butter chicken masala, only butter chicken gravy you have to make. The entire day you just do that thing. And it as Varun said, you don't get to cook dishes when you are a trainee. You just get to do the basic work. And talking about the courses, one thing I would also like to add to Asim is that hotel management is a good thing, but NCHMCT does provide diplomas and craftsmanship courses in food production, bakery, front office. So before you go for hotel management, try a 6-month course in a particular department. See if you like it, and if you don't, you always have another option. It's not a waste. You will get a diploma. And if because the diplomas are in all departments like confectionery, housekeeping, food production, and food and beverage service, and it includes training as well, so you get the true picture being in college and being in the hotel. And after that, like if you think you are really really a food production person, and as Asim said, you don't have to only know cooking, you need to know recipe development, recipe costing. All that stuff is taught in hotel management course. So you start from a diploma and then you go towards the degree in case if you are confused.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
that is something which people can consider before directly jumping on to the degrees.
Okay. And so now this question goes for all three of you. HM, like none of you just, you people were very subtle about that. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. You did not talk about your hectic life, your hectic routine, the night shifts. Even on a day of celebration, day of festival, when everybody in the family is together, you have to stay back. So yes, there is a lot of turbulence. There's a lot of hectic routine. So what are you guys in it for? What is it that is really helping you sticking to this industry? Harleen, let's start from you.
So for me, I really, really love cooking. Like it's not something I only do at home. As a profession, I love it more than I do at home. I eat Maggie at home at times, but still
Okay.
I would love to go to work at any given time.
Yeah.
So for me, like I feel if you love a particular department or particular field of study, you will never like um, cringe about going to that place to work. Like if you're really passionate about it. So my day is actually like I am hustling between three jobs right now because of COVID-19. So I have different shifts at different restaurants. I my full time job is at Gastropub right now, where I do evening shifts from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then my other shifts are from morning, which are like they start at 10 o'clock, finish at 4 o'clock, 12 to 6. They all are like you don't have a specific say on your shifts. To be precise,
Yeah.
you do what roster has been given to you. You have the flexibility to change it, but most of the time you have to go with it.
But you're
So
comfortable with it.
yes. So for me, I think it is difficult in kitchens. It's not easy. You have to do prep. You have to start the service before the restaurant opens. You have to be ready. So and because of COVID-19, most of the people are laid off, and the staff working is like minimum staff. So the pressure is on you, be it the prep or be it the service time. It's you who's taking care of the line. So I mean it is pressuring, like the workload is there. But again, if you know what you are doing, if you have knowledge of your work, you can manage it well. And also it matters a lot with who you are working, who's your boss, like
That's
how what your boss expects from you and what he teaches you. So that is something I personally tell everyone, that when you choose a job, like workplace, work for some time, see if you are actually gaining something from your seniors. If not, you can always jump to different places. Don't be afraid to try different places before sticking to a place.
makes sense. Makes complete sense. Varun, what are you in it for? And how has your life looked like in the course?
Sure. So I think, as you said, the past 4 years where I've been working in the hotels, so all the vacations, I think, sorry, the main holidays, you've got Holi, Diwali, Christmas, New Year. So I've never been at home for the past 4 years in these occasions with the family. But what keeps me sticking is, I think, the dynamic nature of how hotel works, especially be it front office or food and beverage. Every day the work routine is similar, but how your day goes, I think, is completely different, according to me, as per me, every day, because you've got new guests from different cultures coming in, and it's just different every day. And I enjoy that aspect in front office or food and beverage in my core areas. So yeah, I think that is one thing that is, and also I think interacting with people, a lot of guests, especially when I was in Agra. So the foreign guests that used to come from US, Australia, New Zealand, all the European countries as well. I think interacting with them on different things and having a chat. So all of these things in these past 4 years, they've just kept me in this industry, and I'm really enjoying it.
Right. So, Varun, see, you must have seen, like a lot of your friends dropping out, and even though they are successful, but what is the difference between you and them? Like, why do you see them dropping out, and why do you see yourself sticking all through it?
Again, I think there is something in regards to when you join a course. So, specifically to my course, which was STEP. So, it was right after class 12th when we were on the shop floor in the hotel in front of real guests.
Right.
We did get a week of like induction where we were told the different areas of the hotel. But after that, we were supposed to, start training ourselves, start asking people questions, and it was more of about getting trained yourself in different areas. So I think it's also about perceptions about what people have, that the luxurious work shift timings that they'll be having of 9 hours, getting offs on Sundays, which everyone does. But sorry, in hotels you get an off on any day. It can be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It can be any day, and it depends on your boss, as Asim and Hardin also said. So I think the work timings, the shift timings that you have, is which I've seen with a lot of people why they drop. because I think it's the work-life balance for them which does not work, and they come with some preconceived notions in the industry. So yeah, I think you should be. So what I want to clear here is that yeah, so you don't get offs on Sundays. What when everybody is enjoying on a Sunday, 90% of the times you are working in the hotel for the number of hours. And yeah, I think this is one major factor about the working hours, especially in a hotel, that a lot of people drop.
Right. Right. And that's what, like, especially if you are entering in in a hotel management industry, please keep these points in mind that if you're flexible, if you're adaptable, if you're okay to, be on the night shifts, not going back at home anytime you want to, you'll really be able to thrive in this industry. Then I'm sure there's so much of opportunities that are there. All right. And Asim, what's your take on it? What are you in it for? I remember meeting Asim in Bangalore, and this guy was crazy about food, exploring places. Like he was the one, just like a child gets excited about every new thing. So I've always seen that explorer person in Asim. But yes, what is it that you are in it for? How has your life been? Can you explain your struggles to everyone?
Yes, so back in Bangalore, obviously I was in college, and I was very enthusiastic about knowing new cuisines, knowing what new places are there to offer. Now it has returned. Now I'm on the other side where I give an experience to the guests, to the people. I was the guest before, right? So
Yeah.
it's the change of the sides now, and that's what keeps me on is the experience that we give. I just had a guest call in the morning who called me and said, you know what, Asim, our factory started post-COVID. Are you there? I said, sir, sorry. I'm at home right now, thanks to the lockdown, of course, but I'll be back soon. And he's like, oh, I've always seen you in last 2 and 3 years that I've traveled to Chennai. Kind of gonna miss you. So that's something that you make a relation with the guest, and I have a lot of people, in fact, who's gone to my Facebook and messaged me that thank you for your hospitality. We had a good time. So as Varun said, this is the interaction with the new guests. You face them every day. There are a lot of families that kind of come to our hotel. I used to manage a coffee shop before, so I used to have a lot of families used to come in, and it's the experience that you give in, right? My father travels a lot, so whenever I see a single guest or a single traveler who comes to the hotel, I always believe that what if my father was gone to a hotel, and that's the kind of a treatment that I like to give them, right? So. Series of these things, and once you give it to the guest, you kind of get it back. You get that good recommendations from the guest that we come here for this guy, and etc. So this is something which obviously food and beverage got me to the hotel line, but now it's the people interaction with new guests, making sure that you kind of give them the treatment that anybody deserve. And India, just for everybody who is joined right now and who are keen to get a part of the hotel industry and hospitality industry in India. India is regarded as the most hospitable hotel sector in the world. I mean, you can travel to Europe, you can travel to US and stay in the same 5 stars that are here. The way you are pampered in India, the way you are, thrown away with everything that you have got in hotel, you will not find this anywhere else. And that's the reason when you speak to the foreign travelers, that's one of the reasons that they come to India and stay in a lot of hotels, right? Because they want to see it. Varun is in fact a part of the hotel chain, which is quite legendary. Uday Vilas has been one of the I think the best hotel for past 6 years, according to the Hospitality magazine, the best hotel in the world. So that's something which keeps you on, right? All the guests coming, the expectation that you meet when they come to your hotel or your restaurant or whatever. So I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I would want to take a moment to thank you guys for spoiling us, because the kind of experience that you give us, there's so much of relaxation. It's not just leisure, but it's a wholesome experience in all. So I think I'm really thankful on behalf of everyone, because nobody really acknowledges that when you come to the hotel, you okay come and go back. But then I think this acknowledgement is really, really important, because you guys put in your heart and soul behind that. So Harleen, Asim, Varun, really, really like a big thank you for that.
Come on, thank you.
Right. And
Kind of you.
moving on, somebody just asked that how to convince parents. Okay, so now that is a big question. I have seen parents coming to me and they quote this, what they say, I am quoting, ग्लास तो उठाता नहीं है, प्लेट तो रखता नहीं है, सुबह तो इनसे उठा नहीं जाता, ये क्या जाएंगे, राइट? वन दैट. सेकेंड, अ वेरी ब्रॉड प्रीकंसीव नोशन, अच्छा वेटर बनेगा हमारा बेटा, लोग क्या कहेंगे, इट ऑलवेज कम डाउन टू लोग क्या कहेंगे, राइट? And then तू लड़की है, कुक करेगा, then it goes down to gender roles. And for girls it goes down to, oh, you have night shifts, it won't be safe, this, that. So there's a lot of preconceived notions that comes in, right? So we've cleared the preconceived notions that the students have, that you don't go to HM industry if you just like cooking. There's a lot to it besides that. But when it comes to the industry and you're passionate about it, then how do you go about convincing parents?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure, please start.
So I think it takes time, as we were just talking the other day as well, right? It took some time for my parents as well, for sure, that they got into the feeling that, oh my God, you know what, my son also picks up dirty dishes from the tables. And, as I said, now I'm on the other side of the whole industry, right? I was the guest before, now I am the person who's picking up the plates. But I think it just takes time. But somebody's asked that, how can we make them believe? The best way to honestly making them believe is making them talk to one of us, making them, if you know somebody who's already done well in the hotels, making them talk to somebody, because parents will not understand it till they speak to somebody who's done well in the industry, right? Because it is important for them to know that, picking, as Bhumika, you said, that picking up dishes is not everything that we do in the hotel, right? We have a lot of other work, right? There's a thing called management. As I said before, that you have to make people work for 12 to 14 hours who are paid for 9 hours. So that's a task, that's a skill that you, with time, that comes to you. So it is not just the plate picking or the glass picking up and etc., but it is a lot more than that. So they will only understand it when they speak to somebody who's already in the hotel for some time. And also, I think parents, with such sessions and everything, parents really need to understand that hotels are not the end for a hotel management graduate. As I said before, that's some notion. As Harleen said, I in fact did not know that Canada has so many offerings for hotel management graduate. Right? India has not that many as of now, but I'm sure in coming years they will. So I mean, making them talk to somebody, some of us is the only way to make them understand. And I think with years, with the amount of hotel industries coming to India, with the way food and beverage, with the new pubs, clubs, the whole trend of food and beverage is coming to India. And in few years, everybody will be all right with their kids. Probably the next generation will be all right for the kids to get into this industry. We also, Bhumika, if you remember, and Varun, we were talking the other day, how the other, especially the Western countries, part of US, part of Europe, their kids, they go and work part-times in a very early age of their lives. Exactly. So that's the trend, that's the number of years that they are ahead of us. But I think with time, we'll also reach there. And that'll be a better one. So that's the only way you can convince your parents, make them speak to somebody, show them one of these such counseling sessions.
Right. So, and not just this, I think you also really need to instill that kind of confidence in your parents. Like if, I convince them and I say that, okay, let your girl or boy try. But, at the end, if they say that, ghar pe tu itna aalsi hai, somewhere you also need to instill that hope and confidence in them, that yes, you would be able to thrive in that industry. And yes, even more than them, that's why, we've deliberately got in the Mentor Connect program, because when it's specifically about the industry, especially niche area, it's important that not just your parents also take a moment, talk to them and understand that this is exactly how it looks like, right? And I think that's the best way to go about things, because then they would be able to give a real-time perspective about things. Varun, what's your say on this? Like how to go about convincing parents? In fact, both Varun and Harleen can tell us your views on this.
Yeah, so sure. So I think as we were talking about some of the things that you have to start working with once you go and things you hear about, like picking dishes, or if you're starting in food and beverage, so you start as a waiter and you start serving. So I think, as I think Asim said, I think I absolutely agree with the same thing. And getting this thing in mind, what will other people say, or you getting shy of doing this work? I think once you enter the industry, especially when you enter as a trainee, especially in a hotel, you need to start working from the base, be it picking dishes, cleaning the tabletops of a restaurant, in housekeeping, cleaning the room, mopping. There are all sorts of work in the hotel that you have. And if you don't know how to do them, and you're aiming to become a manager in that department or a general manager, you should know how to teach your juniors when they come. Or even if I've seen emergencies in my hotel, when in front office the bellboys are doing the bags, and the bellboys are not there and there are guests. So people are like our general managers of a company, the front office managers, they come in, they pick up the bags, be it in food and beverage, the food and beverage manager who has the highest post in the hotel, he comes and he clears the plate. So I think it's just about getting that habit and that culture in yourself, about doing these, learning these basic skills, and these skills and this work will never finish for you, even when you reach a position like a general manager, or anything in an organization. So we need to understand this in this industry.
Makes sense. And what's your take on that, Harleen?
So I would like most of the part is covered by them, but I would like to add that educate your parents. कोई काम छोटा बड़ा नहीं होता है. In India, we have things like plate uthana is a chota काम. Here, nothing is chota. Like everyone has the same respect. I feel like the main difference over overseas and in India is like respect of a person, respect of a human being, regardless
Irrespective
of
of the work you're doing.
what work
Ah,
they do.
that's important.
So there's nothing. Educate your parents. If you are really interested in something, research. Show them, show them that you follow these people who are doing well in this industry. Don't just like say कि मेरे को hotel management करना है. क्यों करना है ये नहीं पता, but करना है. So just research yourself before convincing. Like your parents will be convinced. Like my mother says, if बच्चे से आगे कुछ नहीं होता है. So at the end they will consider you if you really show them like क्यों करना है, like why.
Yeah.
Like my example, I was the one who started from somewhere else. My mother wanted me to do psychology, being IAS officer, but I didn't
Man, I
want
can
to.
imagine you as a psychologist, as an IAS officer.
Yeah.
Good you've gone to HM
Yeah.
industry.
So like it's something you can only do for your parents, no one else. Yes, we can guide you as mentors, that this is what industry looks like, this is where we stand, what we have achieved, but at the end ultimately it's you, only you can convince your parents, and that depends on how you research about the thing you are passionate about.
Right, right. I think the other day, Aseem or Varun, one of you were mentioning, like, in India, we kids are also very chalu. If we have to convince our parents for something, we go all our way to convince them. And, like they also get pretty convinced. I don't know, one of you mentioned that. So we have a way around that. So even if it's about a career which you're really passionate about, one way is to help them talk to uh, either of the person who's in the industry. Second is to convince them, of course. Third is to you be confident about it. Like if you've researched well, you know what you're going in for. Like if somebody puts a question, you need to have an answer for that. Okay, I know this is how it looks like. Not 100%, but at least a little bit of deep insight there. Now, since we're running out of time, let's take up this most important question, that COVID-19 has really, really taken a big hit on travel, tourism, hospitality industry. It's just one industry, medical industry, which is really thriving right now. But for a lot of industries, there's a big hit. However, for hospitality and travel tourism, it is other big hit. So, Aseem, one, what's your take on that? Two, if there is a HM graduate who is fresh this year, what should he or she do? Either if they are laid off, तो उन्हें क्या करना चाहिए? Like what should one do after this situation?
All right, I'll be very honest on this, and not be like one of those social media people and say everything is okay and be
Nah,
positive.
you don't need to be.
Yeah. So
Visual
to all the
person.
people that are here, I would just say that understand that I was telling Bhumik and Varun the other day also, and always say this to everybody, that we have given a taste to everybody in the world. When I say taste, doesn't mean the food taste, but taste of what not cooking at home feels like. When you go out, this goes to the homemakers, right? Be it the men or the women of the house, whoever are the homemakers, and whoever has the responsibility of the kitchen in the house, they know that all right. So I know that right now things are not as good, but since everybody has a taste of it, things will come back. All right. So it is a very short. It is not a full stop. It is only a pause. The entire industry, and also please understand, if you are a part of hotel management, you're into the college, or if any of you are working right now in hotels or restaurants, that it is only a pause, and things will come back for sure, right? And the entire industry has got together, and 5 stars like the hotel that I work with, we never did takeaways, we never did food deliveries, right? And now we are actually making a good money out of it. I've seen a lot of hotels whose food and beverage was not that popular are also have also tied up with Swiggy and Zomato, and they are also doing really well on it. So it is not only you that is suffering, it is the entire community, it is the entire world right now who's on to a pause, right? So do not worry about it. To be very honest, I've also been asked to be on leave. It's because I take care of a part of the hotel which is not at all running in the entire country, right? Which is the bar and the beverage. Right, so it is okay. I think, as I said before, if we have given a taste, and people will come back. It's just that we have to wait for things to get better. All right, and for the people who are into the college or who are into the school who want to get into hotel management, I missed a year after my 12th standard, and here I am. All right, so 1 year does not even matter. I can't even remember if I was if I was suffering in that year or not, because things have changed now. So it is okay. It is I in a lot of my college unis also approached me, and there was a similar webinar in our college on this. I told everybody not to stress up, think that you were doing engineering for 4 years, because hotel management courses for 3 years, right? So don't think you're missing out an year. Having said that, also whatever time you have got, uh, do not go on to just scrolling through social media or going through all the different news app, understanding what is happening. Or it is good, it is, make it a part of the routine, but don't just do that. All right, try to do something out of it. Does not mean that also at the same time, a lot of people have made it a competition, who has done what in lockdown. That is not important. You don't have to do any e-courses. Whenever people ask me, what were you doing for 5 months, what are you doing for 5 months, I'm sure you must be doing any e-courses. I'm not doing any e-course. All right, it's difficult for me to sit in front of the laptop and study, but at the same time, create a habit. Probably what you were thinking of doing, do something out of this time. It is not a competition, but just don't be on social media all the time. And it is some habit which is just pulling all of us really down. COVID will not, might not, sorry to say, but kill you, but social media will. Right, it is good to have it as a part of the routine, but spend this time to make something out of it. Don't be negative, things will be back. As I said, we have given a taste to all the people, and you can ask Harleen. Things are already back in Canada, not totally, I'm sure, not to the 100% as they were, but they're back. She's working, right? And I'm sure I can see India also going back in a few months, right? And hope we do it fast and quick. Till then, just hang on. Do not scroll down all the news, and just keep reading. Just read something nice, make something out of it. I hope that answers and helps out, Bhumika.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah?
does. It's an amazing answer. And keep attending Meraki webinars.
Yes.
All right. So there's a question. I just started off with my third year of bachelor's from IHM Goa. And being in my last year of degree, I'm confused whether I should opt for masters, go abroad, or should I take WorkX in India first, or should I sit for the campus placement? Also, this year the campus placement won't be happening. So we've already covered the latter aspect, but what about the first aspect, the former aspect of the question? Can one of you take it up?
Can I answer? Okay, Varun is answering. Sure. Go ahead.
So this was regarding front office, if I
Yeah, I think he's also mentioned.
Regarding front office only, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, okay. So about the campus placements, yeah, I think not a lot of companies would be coming to the colleges, but in terms of front office, what I have seen in India, I think if you can, there are a lot of options if you directly approach a lot of companies like be it ITC, Taj, Theobroi. They are offering a lot of training programs of their own currently. So if you're asking for an exposure in front office currently, so I don't have a lot of idea about abroad, but I think in terms of India, specific to front office, so front office is not just about theoretical knowledge, theory. It involves a lot of practical knowledge as well about handling situations, handling guests, being on the shop floor. So it's important if you can do some vocational trainings in a few hotel brands in the current
I
scenario.
just completed my industrial training this year, like 3 months back. The time
Yeah,
Corona started, I just completed my industrial training. So I was just confused. Should I like go abroad and study there? Is front office a good option to opt for, or should I like try to change my interest into like other departments or go for F&B or kitchen? As there's a lot of scope when it comes to abroad in those departments.
okay, so what I understood is I think, according to me, in the hotel industry, first, I think you should make it clear for yourself which department you want to go to. Don't think about the country or the place that abroad is good for food and beverage or kitchen, so I'll go there. India's first, you have to clear it in your mind because all the different departments have different work. As I said, front office involves a lot of mental work about numbers, about handling guests. Food and beverage is completely different. So first you need to clear it in your mind which specific department you want to go for and work for. Because shifting between those departments is not easy. A person who's working in the kitchen can't come in a month and start working on a full operations in front office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any take on this, Harleen and Aseem? Like, I mean, that was a pretty comprehensive answer, Varun. Thank you for that. But I'm sure a lot of students must be going through this, dilemma that on the one hand, they've completed the course. Even if they want to try for a job right now, it's not available. But before taking that, Siddharth, as a career coach, was always of an opinion that before you apply for your master's, you always first see what kind of masters do you want to go for, and that too after your work experience. That's my take, but however, they are industry specialists. They would have even a better answer for that. So, Aseem and Harleen, would you have any take on this particular perspective?
Can I answer?
Sure, please go ahead.
So the thing is, as Asim said, right now the situation is not something very good. But hold on, it will be back to normal. So you will get jobs. Don't worry about it. And when it comes to changing countries, most of the people think that others are going, I should also go. Do not be like wo bhed chal mat karo. Do something what you are really interested in. As Varun said, choose what you want to do. Like front office, if stick to it. Do not jump. Like okay, today you are interested in kitchen, and then you come to a foreign country to do culinary arts, but again you're not satisfied because you don't want to go in this field. So now you'll do a business course which will have front office management or something. Again, so stick to something which you really want to do. And it's not like India doesn't have opportunities. India does have a lot of opportunities. It's not only foreign countries giving you all the things here. As much as you have opportunities in India, you have very comfortable lifestyle there. Coming as a student to a foreign country is not easy. People think sitting there, it's super easy, but here we also do part-time jobs and we study side by side. So you have to consider what is, if you really want to come out of that comfort zone, or you want to like be in your comfort zone and gain the experience in your field in India. India is not bad. You have to remove this preconceived notion that India doesn't have opportunities. India is like getting so many brands which are not even in Canada right now. So it's not something you should really be worried about. Because one of your friend went to Canada and he's a sous chef now here and he's earning more than you. But again, you didn't see the background struggles he had to face. So be very realistic about the situations when you think about certain things.
Yeah, Siddharth, does that answer your question?
Ma'am, I got my answer, but I just wanted to say I've always wanted to go into front office since the time I started my course.
Right.
But the thing is, as per I know, I've heard that it's a lot of scope when it comes to kitchen and F&B. And I want to do my master's abroad. So I just wanted to know, like, if it will be a good option to go abroad for front office, or should I work here first?
Okay, I think this, Asim, you take it and then we'll close this question.
I could, yes. So Siddharth, okay, what you need to understand right now is that, as Harleen said, going abroad, it also takes a lot of money, right? That is one. Look at one aspect of the university charging you a lot, and imagine after 1 year or 2 years of your masters, you said, this is something that I didn't really wanted to do." Right. So just to literally answer your exact question is that yes, you need to work in the hotels in India before you go for masters. I highly recommend that you spend 6 to 12 months in a hotel, or spend 12 months, please. Otherwise, it really breaks the heart when people leave in 6 months. I have had a lot of people who had joined us and then left after a few months or a year just because they wanted a work experience, and which is completely all right, because you are going to spend a lot of money. What if I had my friend who had worked with me for 1.5 years, and then she did her MBA, and now she's going to join somewhere in Hyderabad, which is a complete IT-based company, but as a facility manager, and she did her MBA. She was also in food and beverage, and she realized that, food and beverage is something that I didn't want her to do, and she took her time to understand that, and which is great, because I think she spent about 75 lakhs on her tuition fee only for the masters, and now she's happy. She's happy not because she did a master's. She's happy because she got to know from the work experience where she wanted to go to. I hope that answers your question, right, Siddharth. For your question, what you have written here, yes, you need to definitely do. You need to work in hotel for some time to understand, and working outside India, working inside India. At the end of the hotel, you will be in four walls of a hotel, and accept the respect that hoteliers gets in abroad. Nothing else changes. All right. Probably it's the weather. Probably it's the people looking at you, and that's quite it. I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, please go ahead.
No, I think that really answers the question. And here, Siddharth, even I totally agree and totally in sync with the perspective of all three panel members. Not just for HM, for any course for that matter, immediately after undergraduation, unless it asks for a mandatory master's, I would always suggest for you to take a work experience. And thankfully, in your case, by the time you will graduate, the COVID-19 situation will also relieve down. So we are, we are imagining that 2020 is gone, but then we are imagining things to revive back in 2021, if nothing else. So by then you'd definitely be able to sit for your campus placements or go work, be in both kind of industries, see for yourself that what is more interesting. Like, it's not just about that this is fancy or this is fancy. See for yourself that this is one area where you can create your niche, and then go for that master's if it is required. Again, for your own exposure, if you wish to go to, right? And then
Siddharth, just to let you know that maximum of the master schools in the world really ask for work experience, and there's a reason to that. Even if you guys know, IIM also is starting up. I think by 2022, they're starting up with. They're going to ask people for a year of work experience before they join the college.
They already started making it mandatory, but they're sort of asking now.
Correct. So that really, and I think it is very essential. Harleen would agree to that since she's doing her masters.
Yeah. All right. Now moving on to the last question. can you give us a quick big list of the top colleges? Like I know of Oberoi and we've heard about IHMs. So can you just tell us about few top colleges in India, Varun, that people can look at, both for masters and both and of course for graduation as well?
Sure. So I think starting with the graduation, first of all, the government colleges, the IHMs that we have got, I think most of the people, these are the oldest colleges that we have in our country. So definitely, even if you go and research about it, you've got the IHM, which is in Delhi, Pusa, which is one of the highest ranked ones. You've got IHM Mumbai, IHM Bangalore, and I would say take IHM Kolkata as well, because a lot of my batchmates who've come into OCLD are majorly from these top four colleges, and even the rankings of these top four colleges have been consistent in the past few years, if you see. So even though I think there are a lot of IHM colleges in India, but these are the top 4 or 5 in the major cities that we have, which have a major competition, and the students even have a lot of other competition stuff around their own colleges. So these are the main in terms of IHMs. Apart from that, now a lot of brands, like what I did, a STEP program from the Oberoi, is again something which is very different from an IHM, because in IHM you do a proper college study. But the program that I did, which was STEP, which it is all about on-the-job training. So you're basically sent to a hotel for 3 years, and you basically work there on the job. And the theoretical study is something that you have to do it on your own, and they take a lot of assessments in regards.
Right.
Then there is ITC as well. So there is Waksha, which is in Manipal. So they have a collaboration with ITC Hotels. That is another college. And you've got IHM Aurangabad, which is not, the name is IHM, but it's a private college, and it's associated with the Taj Hotels. So yeah, so in India, what I can tell you are these colleges for graduation. In terms of post graduation, again, for the Oberoi, I think OCLD is one of the highest ranked institutes in Asia right now. And apart from that, even ITC and Taj have their, ITC has a program called HMI, which is in Gurgaon. And you've got ITCs, which is a lead program which they have. So all of these brands in India, Oberoi, ITC, Taj, they all have their management training programs, which are mostly about for 2 years.
Right. So if somebody is not from an HM background in undergraduation, can they still go for masters in these colleges?
Yeah. So talking specifically about OCLD, the course that I am doing for a guest service associate, if you have done graduation from any college in any course, you can apply for a guest service management, which involves front office and food and beverage. And you can also apply for the housekeeping course, which is a separate course altogether. Just in terms of kitchen, if you are pursuing it for masters, you definitely, they require, it's a eligibility criteria that you should be a bachelor's, you should have a degree in hotel management in terms of specializing in kitchen.
Right, right. Got it. I have a feeling that I have a very strong feeling that if my mom is watching this webinar, she'd ask me to go take training under the three of you for one month each, or maybe longer, looking at the way I am. So thank you so much. It was amazing to have you here. Before we all leave, please ensure that there's a feedback form coming your way. And we usually like good feedbacks, but if you still have a constructive feedback, please go ahead, give us. You can follow the Insta page for the updates, and you already have the links, the website link, the Mentor Connect link. And if there's any question, feel free to reach out to us on the mails or via the Connect modal. All right. So thank you so much, Harleen, Aseem, and Varun. It was great having you guys here. There was so much of information that you gave, not just to students, but even me. So I think that was pretty comprehensive kind of answers that we were expecting for this webinar. Is there any feedback for us, Harleen
Thank you,
and
Bhumika.
Varun, Aseem?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Bhumika.
It was great having you. And thank you, Varun, for you also joining in. And as you don't need to worry about the fact that you're the youngest panel member, you were amazing.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, and I think the questions that are were very relevant to the current situation. And I really
Yeah.
wished I had such a webinar and such a platform where I could have.
Exactly. Like
So
before
true.
we joined, yeah. I mean, like now people have opportunities to do these, like attend these webinars. When we were like starting to do all our things, we never had opportunities. Our parents didn't believe in counseling that time, or like we didn't have resources to be like to actually go forward. So now
Yeah.
people, everyone here should be really appreciative and go to Meraki counseling if you're still confused.
Thank you. Tell me about it. Actually, even we as the entire generation feel that, oh my God, there was so much of information missing back in our time. Like, had we had certain, people who could have actually tell us that this is how things roll, it would have been way easier. And guys, you all need to really thank Harleen because she is in Canada right now. It's 8 in the morning, but this girl hasn't slept all night. So a big thanks to you and thank you to Aseem as well. I think you've
Thank
taken
you.
up questions very well. Thank you for
Thank you.
uh, making us feel relieved about the whole COVID situation. As you mentioned that yes, the world is on standstill.
It's
But
everybody, right? So
yeah, it's everybody. But that
Yeah.
was a very relevant answer, to be honest. All right, we'll take a leave. See you tomorrow. If you anyone of you is still there, see you tomorrow for the event management and the wedding management webinar. All the best and wish you all luck.
thanks, Bhumika. Bye.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Bhumika. Bye.